I've got a few questions that I'd like to ask you. I guess the first one is about you've talked about reinforcement learning and putting reinforcement learning, like using reinforcement learning, you'd be able to improve the elasticity or the prediction accuracy, I guess, of how you can get better, better sales. How do you propose that you would do this reinforcement learning?
It's a trial and error model. So since we did it on one project, I think the more we work with it, the better the algorithm will actually be, because it should learn from its errors. Because as I said, we have like a reward system. So I used Colab to code it, and I was helped a bit like by ChatGPT kind of thing. And we want the algorithm to be able to improve like at all times. So I think that like you have something maybe on the data. Or
how big was the data set, Lucas?
So how big it is? So it was 70,000 lines. So it was for 20 products on 3,500 stores. And then you had all the features that we spoke about, such as the dates, the weather, price, etc., and type of product and the category.
Yeah, I actually tried to do an algorithm that would work with the 20 products, but and it didn't work on Colab because I think it's too hard.
Yeah,
like
too heavy.
1 year of simulation on 20 products and on like more than 3,000 stores. So even by shortening the code and everything, like it was, we have to make like product by product.
To be honest, we were waiting like hours for the program just to run. So
yeah, so the only way to do it is really like product by product, I think.
Okay. And when we're talking about dynamic pricing, the challenge always is about when we talked about this. I mean, I know it's more of a logistics issue, but I don't know, Timothy, have you thought about how these, I'm assuming these retail stores or grocery chains or whatever, would be able to change the pricing on so many items based on the prediction? Have you guys thought about that?
Yes, it's the goal of the algorithm.
Like how they would do it, you mean?
No. So for example, the actual like little sticker that is on the shelf or on the product, if you're doing dynamic pricing based on weather and based on traffic patterns and flights and all that stuff, how would you recommend, or how would you be able to convince a retailer to adopt your solution if they cannot see how they can deploy it if the prices change hourly or daily or whatever?
But the goal is to optimize revenues, and we can change the
price tag.
The price tags directly, automatically, because it's linked to our algorithm.
Like in France, most of the time when you go to grocery stores, the price tag are electronic. It's not a piece of paper you have to change every hour. So it's doable to link it to an algorithm that will change the prices like automatically.
Yeah.
But the store would have to adapt to it by using electronic price tags.
Very good. So we have a question from Michael. He's saying a couple of comments. When dynamic pricing is applied to product level retailers, retailers could also maintain brand continuity while managing margins at a macro scale. Would love to see advertising data and in-store promotion and placement added, but that could be localized by retailer. I think he's saying that one additional like real world application for that retailer would be to add actual advertising in store to actually help drive certain product usage or movement from the shelves. And then also Michael noted that there's going to be a reduction in the waste that could add a lot of value. We did a study on the perishable food supply chain as the consulting lab that you guys can take a look at for those that are listening, or you guys can take a look at it, and you could see the amount of waste. We can pull it up, but it's a pretty staggering, the amount of waste that's in the perishable food supply chain, where something like this would be really meaningful.
Yes, there's a whole part about sustainability that we don't really talk about in the presentation. But yeah, we think that this project could also be very useful and and have a big impact on the sustainability part.
Yeah.
And for the advertisement in store, I think it's something that is harder to adapt to the algorithm because since it's trained mostly on the data sets, we have prices, seasonalities, kind of things. But if you add an ad in the store, then maybe your product will work a bit better. So the algorithm should be able to understand that it can increase a bit the price and this kind of thing. So yeah, I think the advertisement part is interesting. So there's something to explore about that.
Very good. And I guess Lucas, or to all of you guys, this Q learning algorithm that you chose, why did you end up choosing that? Can you tell us, first of all, I think you had in the slides, but you can just give us at a high level, how it works, and then the parameters that you used that factored into the model to give you this dynamic pricing.
I think that first of all, it's an intuitive algorithm that is part of the reinforcement learning. And another, I think, advantage will be that Q-learning learns the optimal, how can I say that, greedy policy, even if the agent is taking random or exploratory action. And so just give us a fast convergence and a flexibility to use any exploration strategy. I don't know if anyone has anything to ask.
I think Q-learning was the right way to go. So if we wanted to be able to adapt and to improve itself, I think it was the better thing we could do. The best thing.
Very good. And another question for you on the business side. Do you think that a 3.71% profit increase would motivate a business to move on this if you were pitching it, given that it's going to cost, several $100,000 to build such a solution, probably even millions?
I'm saying, how much will it cost?
Yeah, the 3.7% of profit increase, do you think that is big enough to entice a business to move with a project like this from a positioning perspective?
Yes, because it generates a lot of revenues.
If I can add something, the 3% was only about the product one out of the 20 we had. So this is only the sales revenue that was made, the bonus on one product. So actually, if you implement it in the store, it will be made on 20 products. And we expect it to be around that for all the other 19 products. And other than that, it's for only one store. And if some chain like Target or something is willing to work with that, I think that the initial investment will be very easily made off by the amount of stores, the scale economies they have, and the amount of products they have also. So
yeah, also for stock management, it's very useful.
Yeah, and for sustainability, it's kind of thing.
Yeah, it's just, and this is just a reflection, just to give you an idea how boards thinks and C-suite think, is that you always have to be I've been at fault of being too conservative in certain let's say endeavors or projects in the past, over the past decades, in proposing certain projects. And there is a balance and this is where the I guess kind of the experience comes in. There's going to be a balance between being overly aggressive and overly conservative in selling a project, and you just have to make sure that you understand the stakeholders and their appetite for risk and reward, and make sure that what you're proposing is attractive enough. Otherwise, sometimes some people might say, 3%, we'll just buy another X, Y, and Z, and we'll make 5% for deploying the capital that would be used for us to use this project, which is a big letdown when you're an innovator, because you're trying to move the ball forward with data and AI, etc. And the business people look at it more in terms of numbers. how much am I going to spend and how much am I going to get back? And they're going to evaluate where they're going to deploy the capital to get the profit uplift. Just as a comment. And then I'm just seeing there are people typing for questions, I guess. But just to close out your presentation, can you, similar to the question, let's see, Anne is commending you guys, saying that this is any solution grounded in creating and delivering value for the customer is admirable, worthy. The question is about, was there any consideration for the voice of the customer taking into this project?
We had a debate about it at the start of the project, because I think there are some people that think that, and I understand that for the customer it's not very ethical, and sometimes because the only attempt, the main attempt is to maximize the profit, and for the customer, I think clearly, like if you try to beat the algorithm and to buy at the moment where the price will be low, like you do on the plane ticket and this kind of thing, maybe you can save money on the groceries. But at the end of the day, the objective is still to like optimize the stock and to increase the sales volume. So I think the advantage of this model for the customer is more about product availability, so that when you come to the store, you just know that the product you buy every week will be there, because the algorithm will make sure that it will be there, but not really for the price.
Very good. And then to close this out, guys, and let Team 3 start getting ready, I guess, to switch over. It's the same question I asked the Team 1. Compare and contrast your experience and journey through the course and how you found how this is what you learned and what you feel that AI is going to do for your career versus before you started. And just kind of give us a reflection on before and after.
Okay. Well,
each of you.
I will start. So I think the Cartons project was like a really interesting experience, and it strengthened, I think, all of us, our technical and strategic abilities in terms of AI, and we learn kind of how to build and evaluate AI model, and we get like strategic insight on how what we can get from that, and a deeper understanding on how data, technology, and business objective like are together, like cross together. And I think for my career it will be like very interesting, because I would love to do it in the sports industry, and I think there is so much fun things to do with AI and business development, and I think AI will really shape the sports world in the future, at short term and at long term. So yeah.
For my part, I think AI can be a very useful tool, but I think it can be as well very dangerous if we lose our criticism. And I think for my career it will be useful, but I'm very worried about future generations, to be honest, because I'm worried because I think people will not think anymore. They will just generate with AI.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, Timothy.
For me, I think it was a very interesting journey, because I learned what the Q-learning algorithm was, what reinforcement learning was. I knew like close to nothing about all of this before starting, and the more we worked on it, the more it makes me want to push this project to the very end and to actually like test it in real condition, this kind of thing. Because seeing your work go to like results like when we had the result on product 1 and we had like an increase of sales volume and everything, we were so happy. So we want to try it and to see what we can actually do in the real world.
Very good. Very good. Well done, guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you for listening.
I really appreciate it. Thank you for all the hard work. This is fantastic. I think we're going to go ahead and move to Team 3.